Tonight, we are all Colorado Rapids. Welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot, your LAFC gateway drug. I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Vince LaRosa.
We're coming to you live after what seems routine now at this play, beating Seattle in Seattle 3-0. Vince, tell us what we saw tonight.
You know, watching the game, I was just trying to compose my thoughts for this moment because it did seem like LAFC was never really in danger of losing that game. And I was trying to come up with something that was like very cool for people, but I'm going to be honest, it's not complicated here. Like the two things that LAFC did in this game is they've gotten better at playing this kind of shape and formation, as we've seen their ability to really hand off players and rotate well defensively. And they're better with the ball at times. And then they've just figured out a way to how to be a good cup team, which is be good in both boxes. They didn't give up many chances, didn't give up any clean looks on their goal, and every major chance that they had, bar Denny hitting the post that first time, they finished. And that's really, honestly, if you can do that, it's not the most attractive, beautiful, intricate football. It's not Columbus. But at the end of the day, it's winning football. And that's all that matters in a competition where all you have to do is win to go on. And LAFC, they're just ruthless right now. They have a better shape. They have a better idea of who they are. And then at the end of the day, they have match winners. And that's all it really was.
This has happened now 2 games in a row where a team down by more than 3 goals had to watch Olivier Giroud come off the bench. And now also Lewis O'Brien, a man who started for DC United and was a really good player for them, also coming off the bench. I don't know how much I loved from Lewis O'Brien today, but he's getting his footing a little bit. At least I saw him. He seemed sluggish at times, is what I'll say about Lewis O'Brien. But it's been a little bit.
Sure, but you also saw, I think, a couple of things that you're gonna see from him more often, which is when he wins the ball, he has the ability to kind of dribble and carry out of pressure. I think one time he kind of just played the ball on, and they I think had a cross that didn't really come off. Another time he wins a foul, and I think he's good at that. Obviously, should have saw the guy behind Atuesta instead of just playing it softly to him. But as you said, he's playing into fitness. He's trying to get his idea of how he fits into this team and get his level of fitness. But back to Giroud, especially if you're Seattle, right? Because you got to play us again in just 11 days. And for another match, that means something. That means you have to win or else you go home. And you got to know that most likely Giroud's starting that game. And even if he doesn't, oh God, he's going to come in at some point. And where are we going to be at in that match? It's a horrible feeling, especially when honestly, they're not bad. It's just, they're not good. They're not special. There's nothing extra creative about them. Their best player is hurt all the time, or their big name signing. He's not their best player, but their big name signing is hurt all the time. Like, they don't have that kind of magic. Whereas LAFC is just like, oh, we're already up 3-0. And here's Olivier Giroud. While Pedro de la Vega, they're like, oh, we can't risk you.
Yeah. The thing that I kept thinking about while watching is the word clinical. Like, we just are in the right places. We make the right moves and we score when we need to. Like, 2 games in a row.
Oh, you're making such a good point. But the people will not be denied, and they're going to continue to do the super chat. Diego Gutierrez, let get him to Carson or BMO.
Let get him.
Let get him.
You mean us? You mean us? Sure. Yeah,
sure.
Pay for our tickets out to Carson.
I think that's what he means. Let's get us to Carson or BMO. I might try to go to that game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm out of town this week, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow morning, and so is Darren as well. So we won't be around for the semifinal game. But honestly, now, no matter what, the game is in LA. We get to see the game either whether it's in Carson or BMO. I would prefer it to be in BMO. I would love to play Colorado. I see some people saying we want America. No, we don't. We want trophies. I'll take the easy road any day of the week. No matter who we play in the East is really tough. I don't need 2 difficult teams, especially if just making it to the finals gets us into the Champions Cup. Give me the easiest fucking team possible. I don't need to prove anything. I know we're good.
And let's be honest, what's going to happen. If we play Club America and beat them, every Liga MX fan and every Galaxy fan is going to say, well, who cares? It's Leagues Cup. So to Travis's point, let's just get to the final, get our CONCACAF Champions League berth, Maybe we can get a trophy, but at the end of the day, we'll have accomplished one of the bigger goals of this season. And let's just do that. I don't think there's
So sorry to interrupt, Vince,
Oh,
but
God.
Nut has sent us $2. Here's for the express lanes of the 110. Everyone seems to believe America is going to run away with it. Me personally, I'm a firm believer in the Colorado Rapids. I've always been a big fan of their players. Kellen Acosta, is he there?
Legacy player.
Legacy player Kellen Acosta.
He's another C team, Chicago, where you will actually be. Actually, you should probably link up with him while you're in Chicago.
Oh, fuck. Great idea.
Yeah, see if you can hit him up.
Legacy player
Acosta.
Kai Kamara.
Yeah, he is a legacy player for the Colorado Rapids. I mean, you're getting warmer, I suppose, in an odd way.
No, I mean, look, I get why people want to play Club America and getting that monkey off our back. I use that phrase a lot on this show, monkey off our back. But
it's a fun one.
I mean,
but have you ever seen somebody just battling a monkey on their back? Like,
no, usually the monkey's having a good time. The monkey's supposed to be there usually.
Right. Like in The Hangover, the monkey's just on the guy's shoulder the whole time and having a great time.
I guess like if it was a wild monkey and it jumped down, but like I mainly think of it as like something we struggle with. Playing in Texas is a monkey on our back. Beating Mexican teams in important games, monkey on our back. And I know we want to win in a knockout round, but give me the easiest possible team. I want to go to Champions Cup. And also, I'd rather have to have one easy game and then travel for a difficult game, knowing we had a game at home against Colorado. That said, Colorado's been fucking great this tournament.
They have been, and they've beaten some pretty good teams, and they've beaten a lot of Mexican teams too. So no saying they couldn't beat Club America, who had to like really push to beat St. Louis. So I mean, there's a chance, right? There's always a chance, but yeah, I'd rather beat Liga MX teams in CONCACAF Champions Cup than again, because they're honestly going to just say like, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter as much, right?
Yeah.
I realize we didn't bring up Darren not being here because of the early start time of the game. Darren's putting his children down. I was about to say to sleep, but that sounds like he's euthanizing his children. Darren's not euthanizing his children. It is bedtime, so he's helping put his children down for bedtime. Some happy and sad feet I just want to get to. Hollingshead mustache celebration. Haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes Hollingshead has the beard going. I was happy he had just the stash for the mustache celebration. And another happy foot for me too is Kai Kamara just truly finding his form with the team. It was rough for a few weeks early in the season, and I think there was a worry that maybe he didn't have it. And ever since he beat that Landon Donovan record or tied the Landon Donovan record, he's been incredibly dangerous in the box. He just seems confident, and I'm so happy to have him come off the bench for us when Giroud starts.
Efren, this is too much. This is $15. This is too much money, but I'm going to read your comment. Can't really watch, but enjoy my tip. Where's Darren? Darren is with his children, and we will pass this $15 along. Yeah, we will pass this along to him so he can buy them some ice cream.
Thank you so much. $15 for nothing. So I appreciate it.
Well, I read his comment and it said Efren Benitez, his name out loud on the world famous Happy Foot Sad Foot post game live stream.
I do also want to say another happy foot was how close all of us got to having our bet it and forget it's cash. They were all outlandish bet it and forget it that could have happened this round. Darren bet that there would be 2 French assist to French goal connections. We got one and we got close to another earlier in the game. You bet that Denny Bwanga would hit all the posts. He hit 2 posts. Unfortunately, it was the same post.
Same one.
Twice.
But I was happy that one of them did go in.
Yes.
Because everyone freaked out, was like, Vince, don't do that. I was like, look, it can hit the post and go in the net. It happens. Usually, honestly, when Denny hits the post, he gets his money's worth. Like he really tattoos that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we figured out the code to these, and we got to start going even crazier, which scares me because they might start coming. Even if we go even crazier and they remotely come close, Travis, think how crazy they would have to be. Like you're like, some things. The elephant breaks out from the Los Angeles Zoo and will run through the game, and some other animal will run through the game, guaranteed.
Yeah, what we should do now that we know we have powers of projection is Giroud 5 goals in this game. and he'll get 4, and we'll feel good about that.
That's actually a good segue to my sad foot. Can I say, like, as much as it's cool to see Giroud come in, don't put the man in when it's 3-0 and like the team is just kind of like killing the game off. I'm not gonna say it, and I know everyone said from the last game is like he looked upset. I think he's only because he wants so badly to do something, and he's like, wait, the game's over. There's nothing for me to do. That's the frustration I see from him more than anything. He's just like, can we go forward? And the rest of the team's like, nah, we don't need to, bro. He's just like, oh, okay.
I also noticed both last game and this game, despite being down 3-0 and 4-0 when he came in, they would like triple mark him in the box as well.
Yeah.
Like there was just no lanes to get him the ball. I mean, maybe a player in Europe could have found him, but I don't know if we have the personnel to make those lanes.
There was one moment where Bogusz picked up the ball and he looked like he was always going to shoot, and he probably could have slipped the pass in when Reagan came out, and he's like, no, YOLO, I'm going.
Sorry to interrupt, Vince.
Oh, no.
Mikey, our good friend Mikey's back with his tipping addiction. Mikey wants us to dance for him. Mikey, we have to do it now.
No, that's not the rule.
Vince,
we have to read the comment. Don't you set a precedent that we can't keep, because
if you tip over $100, we have to do what it said.
Oh no. You've sold our souls for $100.
No, $100. Yeah, which when split 3 ways and after the YouTube cut is about $20 a person.
Yeah, that's scary. That actually really scares me.
I take it back. Don't tip us that amount, please.
Yeah, don't.
We already feel uncomfortable.
Pretend like you're going to, and then be like, hey guys, I was going to tip you $100, but instead I took my girlfriend out and I used that $100, and we will be so much happier.
Make yourselves happier.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. Like, it's funny to be up by that amount and watch Giroud just like kind of putter around.
Yeah, pinball around.
No fault of his own, like trying to do the press late in the game. It's just so funny to wait for him to come on and then be like, well, he's touched the ball maybe twice. God damn it, Mikey.
Mikey, you're not allowed to tip and drink.
We're stopping this from you.
Yeah, save these for your bartender.
Truly, no one wastes their money while drunk. I'm being serious. Don't give us your drunk money. This is us taking advantage of you. So don't do it. We won't accept it any longer, Mikey. Shake them feet.
I'm doing it under the table.
Yeah, me too. Does Vince have a job yet? May influence my tips. Vince, any news?
No, still. I wish I could tell you. I'm out there. I'm working hard. I'm doing job interviews. It's just nothing coming through yet. Everyone
does
wants
San Diego front office like you?
Yeah, I do have connections to Tom Penn. He's a good guy. I've known him, and he's been very helpful to my career. But no,
great answer.
There's nothing there yet.
Let me just Chanot and Palencia, both incredible games. I feel like we don't
defensively
so solid good. All game,
and not just the back. Like I want to go back to like that them getting better in that shape. Watching them, because it seemed like Seattle's only idea in the game was, okay, let's see if we can move the 10, who is Rusnak, over, and we'll overload a side, and then they'll have to deal with one extra player who's not there, and let's see if we can find a way through there. But LAFC just traded guys off. Like they did it, and they did it so seamlessly. And you saw a lot of work from Bogusz and Bouanga.
Sorry to interrupt, Vince. The Feed Vince Fund has come through at $2.
Yes.
We feel bad for you because you have no money.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm taking a little bit of it. I'm sorry. Keep going about the defense.
No, just defensively, obviously no major mistakes too. Like, we're getting all the best of Murillo in this tournament. Like no major Murillo flubs, but they're smart with the ball, and then they're just so locked in the shape and filling in for other guys. And that's not always easy. Like, I mean, obviously a coach can tell a team like, let's do that. But then when you got guys like Bogusz and Bouanga, like we're used to seeing guys like that just decide not to be it. But on the flip side is they're also smart with when they do jump out. Like that goal to Bouanga from Lloris, like Bouanga understands, okay, I'm on the weak side. No one's really going to cause any trouble here. What if I just sneak out and see what happens? And that's what happens. So the ability to learn this on the fly, I still think 4-3-3 is going to be the long-term formation for this team, but this is now for cup runs and for different situations. It's really nice to have something like this.
And I think, I don't know. I just feel like Palencia is one of those players where we talk about it, but I don't think he gets enough credit within the club and the fan base for just how fucking solid he is consistently. And Palencia was a guy tonight that I just saw do so many things. We had 12 corner kicks? Mikey, stop it for fuck's sake. We're not reading yours anymore. You just told us you're drunk.
And Darren's with his kid.
This money back. Darren is euthanizing his children, Mikey. How dare you?
Only for the night.
No, I just breaks. Like, we just looked so solid the whole game. I also think that Ryan Hollingshead goal, quickly, I just want to say, kind of a lucky break. The bounce was in our favor there.
Oh, sure. But he still had still a good finish, like coming off the angle and on the turf, still a good finish. My happy foot, by the way, is I don't know if you saw it coming out of halftime break, the man with the green beard. Good Lord. That was green. Oh man, his beard, he had full beard and it was as green as like greener than rave green, the green color of this. Yeah, it was green. And I don't know, it just made me happy, but I felt bad for him.
So sorry to interrupt, Vince, talking about something that make you happy. Marcos Ramirez also taking pity on you, rooting Fort Vince on the job hunt, capital J, but also selfishly don't want him to lose, want to lose him on the pod, cry face. Get my boy a beer, pound face, followed by Jeremy Gomez, hashtag hire Vince, pretended by Michelob Ultra. Again, I'm taking some of this money. Don't give Vince money this way. Venmo.
Wait a second. Wait, hold on. I appreciate it. And to the point, like I really do hope that whatever I do find, it allows me to continue to do the pod as well. That is the goal ultimately. So, a regular 9 to 5. I mean, I can do a lot of things. I'm very talented. I don't need to necessarily work in soccer because I work in soccer when I work with you guys. So it's fine.
It has made my life exponentially easier that I don't have to look up things about the other team when I'm doing the storylines. I just go, Vince, what do we need to know? I look up I used to have to like learn, and I don't ever since you've joined the podcast.
And I proved my credentials by being so good at this League's Cup bracket, which now I have two out of the 3 that are currently in the semifinals. With LAFC and Columbus. And if Club America goes, I'll have 3 out of 4.
That's crazy. I mean, it seems like I as much as I don't want America to win, I feel like having those 4 in the semifinals will make this a much more watchable tournament. 4 really good teams.
Absolutely.
Playing. And again, it means if we win, no matter what, it's an MLS Cup. Either the championship or the third place game is an MLS Cup rematch.
Right.
Nut has sent us $2 and says, Vince, my company is hiring you forklift certified.
I wish. Those things are so cool, and it's hard. Like once you get certified, can't you just like pretty much write your own check? I've from what I've heard, I've heard that it's like you're gold then. So maybe I should. I mean, I got a lot of free time. Can anyone loan me one? Like, can you just borrow one?
Can you rent one? Yeah. Do they have it at Avis?
Yeah. Like my local Ralph's has like those steam cleaner vacuums. I'm guaranteeing they have a forklift in the back.
Jesse P says the false apology is the best part of the super chats. I don't know what you want us to do, Jesse. It makes us uncomfortable, but we're happy to be paid for this. We lose money on this. So thank you. We're trying our best, Jesse.
But speaking of, and by the way, Alan, you didn't even he's like, just here's $1.99. He's like, not even doing it.
Mikey, stop it. Stop it. We're giving you this money back. Alan said he forgot to write in his chat before he sent.
Well, there's your comment.
I did have some sad feet as well.
Okay.
Kike coming up with a hamstring injury right before. I wonder how much of that was worry about playing on turf, or if it's something more serious. But it seemed like he was in the lineup up until the last possible minute, is the way it seemed.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. And in hindsight, like even if we didn't win that game, when we have all said, like, as much as we'd love to see Tillman back and we'd love to see Kike in the lineup, when we have all said, like, it's probably a smart choice, especially, hamstring injuries can really linger. We are getting down to that part in the season where playoff spots, we're battling for high level playoff spots. So I think that was a smart choice. And look, didn't matter anyways because team went out and took care of business.
There was another. Oh no, I just feel like that
That is
lineup.
quite the comment. You're just going to leave it up there. We're not even going to acknowledge it.
Well, I just sometimes it's nice to let people
The
know
word
we see it, but
Daniel
we don't wanna say it.
using the word serviceable in there is well done. You're a wordsmith. That I think even Travis the writer can say like that's a funny word to use in that context.
Mikey, what do we need to do to get you to stop doing this? Should we stop giving you attention when you do it? It's your vodka soda. Oh, your VA soda check. Don't give us your veterans checks. God damn it. Okay, we have to donate it now, I guess, back to the VA.
Right. Well, we'll ask Darren. He's with his back the blue and stuff. He's in those circles.
Oh yeah, Darren will give it to the police union. Yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is Happy Foot is they kept calling Bawanga Mr. Leagues Cup. Okay, we were out in the quarterfinals last year, but cool. I guess we could call him Mr. Leagues Cup.
Also, what's the difference from his league form? Like that's pretty much him. Like they're like, oh, this is just his favorite competition. No, I mean the man scores goals and assists. Like that's kind of what he does. What we looked up the numbers. What was he? He's on like 60 goals in like 80 games for LAFC. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Mr. All Games is what we can call him. Betty asks, I came to your profile to check. Oh, this is from Twitter. We did not do a halftime drink thread.
No.
We're letting you down, Betty. I'm so sorry. We'll do it now. The thing is, the halftime drink thread, sometimes people don't respond. But I guess people like tradition. We have to do the halftime drink thread. Okay.
Maybe they don't understand. Like we're actually showing you so that you can tell us. We don't think that you think we're special enough that but maybe people just want to see what you're drinking.
Out of a weird PFAS-filled water bottle they discontinued. I tried to buy a new one and they discontinued it and made it metal.
And told you maybe you should stop drinking another one you bought from us.
Yeah, they were like, your scrotum is full of the plastic from our bottle.
And you said, cool.
This one, it's so like, I get it. I get microplastics are bad. It is so much easier to do this than a heavy metal one that like clunks into everything.
That's fair.
Plus, you don't think I could do porn?
Oh no, I think you were included in there. I don't. I mean, we'd both be serviceable.
Serviceable. So people would watch, but it wouldn't be like they wouldn't follow us as performers.
Yeah, or we'd be. Is there such thing as character actors? And
we're the cuck husbands. We're not the people performing. We're sitting in the corner. Betty says, I always respond late, but I always try. Okay, I promise you. Maybe not for the semifinals because, again, I'm working evenings in Chicago this week. But I will every other game. Vince has to do it this game. Do you have the login for the Twitter?
No.
I'll give you the password right now. Hold on.
Oh.
Just say it out loud. No one log in.
Yeah. Everyone just turn off the chat.
Turn off the stream for a second. I have 2-factor on, so even if they had it would be okay. Look, we got to 700 subscribers as this has been going on. So thank you everybody for subscribing. If you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe below. 700. That's pretty good for a year and a half doing this show.
Yeah, that's right. And for something that like we always forget to do exactly what you just did is tell people to actually subscribe.
David Day, I think, is responsible for the majority of those subscribers. He always reminds people to subscribe and thumbs up in the chat. So thank you, David Day, for being our YouTube manager. And also thank you to the 3 different spam bots who have been messaging me saying we need to up our SEO from YouTube. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't believe that you're real. And any amount of work that takes time to promote this, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna up our SEO in our micro market. That's already a niche market as is.
Yeah.
Like
there's a cap.
It's named Happy Foot Sad Foot. Clearly, that eschewed any SEO practice from the get go.
I just subscribed from whoever logged in on my TV at my Airbnb.
Yes. Matt, now that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you so much, Matt. Also, we saw you watching the preview episode from vacation. Thanks for keeping us in your thoughts while you were, inches away from the beach, I assume. That's sweet.
And we hope your family still loves you.
You guys
There's not
could
many.
totally co-write a soccer-themed porn movie.
Oh no.
Bend it like Beckham's, you know,
Dot dot dot. You know.
you know,
You know
bend
where
it
we're
like
going with this.
Beckham's David.
Yeah.
Uh, I yeah, I think it would be
I
pretty
think
easy.
the near post, it just if you really think about it,
Mhm.
it gets you there.
The near post. Can we think of any others? Top of the 18. Top of the 18 is a soccer porn movie
Yeah.
for sure.
Technically, when the ball goes out of play, the official term for it is into touch.
Into touch.
Yeah.
Ooh, I am into touch when I'm in Chicago.
Hey.
Um,
I need is like a Chicago food post from you. Are you
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
eat some great food?
The problem is, so quickly, Betty asks, who do we want to go LAFC to go against, Colorado or America? We want Colorado on this podcast, but a lot of people in the comments
Yeah,
disagree with us.
because we're cowards. But
We're
honestly,
cowards.
it's because we straight up want LAFC to be in the CONCACAF Champions Cup because we know that every Liga MX fan, including the adjacent ones down south, will at Carson will say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Win doesn't matter anyway." So then let's not even put ourselves through that. Let's just get Colorado. Let's get what we came here.
Shout out
Shout out.
to so sorry, Vince. Edgar Corral just tipped us $4.99 in the super chat. Thank you so much, Edgar. Shout out to my nephews. They're watching. Alex and Georgie. Alex and Georgie, so sorry about the porn talk. I don't know
Yeah.
how old you are. So just want to say shout out to Alex and Georgie. Don't listen if that's weird.
We'll go back to talking soccer.
Yeah, we'll go back to soccer now. We're going to ignore all the creeps in the chat. We didn't encourage this at all. It's
That's
our
fair.
creep listeners.
Yeah.
Our creeps and our freaks.
And let's be honest, it usually doesn't take much for us to go down that, but they really pushed it on us. We had no choice.
Immediately I have to highlight.
Don't even say it. It's just up there.
So I think we sort of have to root for Colorado explicitly because it'll be a home game at BMO that if we win, we qualify for Champions Cup. That is, I would much rather say, we still have to win 2 games to win Leagues Cup. I would love to win Leagues Cup. I'd love to have hardware. I'd much rather take the odds and say, no matter what, we go to Champions Cup and maybe also we get a trophy. Whereas America is so good that, especially playing at Carson, might feel not like we're playing in Los Angeles, but who knows? I bet we'll travel for that game.
Yeah, we'll definitely travel. But I mean, Club America travels very, very well. And obviously it'll be there.
What are they? The biggest club on the continent, right? Like they're
essentially massive. Yeah. I mean, you can give or take them and Chivas go back and forth. But in terms of recent like history and results, like, yeah, it's them. Again, it would be fun to play them. Brian Rodriguez is somehow still on the team. He's actually scored some goals for them recently. But why not? Why wouldn't we want to play at home?
Is Olivier Giroud our Brian Rodriguez?
Are you trying?
I mean, he's played 2 games. He hasn't scored yet. It feels like Brian.
And welcome back to extra time.
I love those guys.
Sure, they're okay.
I actually don't know any of the current hosts. I only knew Tom when he was on, and he does his own thing now.
Who are the hosts now? Actually,
it's him. Well, they fired Goss, and now Goss and Tom Bogert do their own thing called Soccer Wise, which is great. If you haven't listened, they do a live stream like this where you can chat. But actually, don't watch them. Don't do that. Don't. This is the only one to watch. B-Rod seems to take penalties for America. That's so funny. Adam, I think, is not the first person to ask this, or maybe he's asking it twice. Can America choose for their home game to be at BMO and take over the supporter section? I think no, right? Their home is Carson.
I don't think so. That doesn't seem to be something that like they could.
Oh, so why would they want that? They would rather
one. Why would they want that? But 2, I don't think that's a thing. Because like most hubs don't happen to have a stadium down the street, right? So if other teams don't really have that, it just seems odd that would be something that they could do. But why would they do that?
Oh, there's maybe Goss isn't who they fired. They fired someone who now hosts a show with Tom Booker.
No, Goss is not there. Goss is definitely not there anymore.
Yeah, I think they fired him earlier this season, and I don't know if they did or Apple did or whatever, but
yeah, he did like one episode, and then I think they just didn't renew his contract, which at the end of the day you're fired. Which not
Vince. Have you ever been fired from a soccer?
You know what? I have actually.
How many times?
And I could tell you, it doesn't feel good. A couple. It's not great.
Andy SVT8 said earlier, does Philly have home field advantage over us? Yes. The only team we have home field advantage of left right now is Colorado, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So if we want to play at BMO in the semifinal or final, we have to root for Colorado. But no matter what, the final will be played either in Chester or Columbus, a place that haunts our dreams. I will not be traveling to Columbus. Actually, I don't think I could make it anyways because I'm flying back from Chicago.
Well, why don't you just reroute?
I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't want to go to Columbus again.
You could probably drive.
You're right. I could drive from Chicago to Columbus.
It's probably like 7-8 hours.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to go to that place again.
Less chance of you getting COVID this time.
Is there?
No, actually, I can't. I don't know.
I haven't been paying attention. I think anytime you're in a large group, there's a chance. I just also haven't tested in a long time.
Right.
In theory, they could choose BMO just to not allow 3252 to use their section. Is that true? They can just choose any stadium they want? Could they choose the Rose Bowl?
Yeah. I don't.
Vin, look it up, Vince. Mikey, we're not reading it. You got to stop. You got to stop. The problem is it makes me laugh every time.
If he is in fact at the strip club while watching this, how hilarious is that? Get all those strippers to subscribe.
Yeah, if the strippers could give me some tips about how to get more tips, is it helpful to say stop doing it?
Right.
Thank you, Mikey, so much. But don't do it while you're drunk, my man. Please.
Yeah, you're. This is a valuable lesson.
David Day says LAFC versus America at Snapdragon. Where are people getting this information from? I'll believe you if this is coming from anywhere. I don't know if Rose Bowl is a selectable stadium. Selectable though? Like, is that they can just choose? The state of California is their hub as long as it's in California. So if I'm America, well, no, you wouldn't want to travel. I would just, honestly, Snapdragon's probably the smartest. Make it a little bit far away and you only have to travel an hour.
Sure. It's there. Oh, that's so weird. Okay.
Marcos Romero says they tipped us $1.99. Thank you so much, Marcos. Spanish broadcast said America had a choice. Okay. I guess that tracks. Okay, so if I was in their shoes, I would want to move from Los Angeles to make it harder for people to travel, but I would want to be close enough that we don't have to travel that far, right? So going closer to Mexico is smart. You go to San Diego. Snapdragon seems smart.
Yeah, so looking at it does. So I'm looking at it right now. It does say the state of California, and obviously they did open in Snapdragon, so they've already played a game there. It's, I think, a little bit bigger than Dignity. So if I was them, I would go back to. I'd go back to San Diego. I know. Imagine that's the other thing. Imagine they're like, no, let's do Levi's. Well, see, the idea of choosing means like the place is open to it too. Levi's could be like, no, the 49ers are about to kick off their season in a month. Like, we're not doing that. But I think Snapdragon is a real possibility. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got to travel to San Diego, y'all. I won't be going, but you have to go. You all have to drive on a Wednesday night to San Diego. Yeah. Why would you play in Carson?
Save me a seat.
Easy drive. Alan said, question, I'm in Ohio for school. If we make it to the final at Columbus, should I go or should I go to the Cincy away game? I was there for MLS Cup and have bad PTSD.
Ooh.
How bad are your vibes? Was it your fault that we lost?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. That's for sure, Alan. But why wouldn't you? It's cool to see your team away from home. At the end of the day, this is the sport, right? If your team has a chance to win a trophy, like, you got to be there, and you have to risk, the failure. You have to risk the embarrassment, because if you don't go, and you had a chance and they actually do win, you miss the best night of your life. That's what the sport's supposed to be. That's the reason why we watch this whole thing. Because if it wasn't like that, what is it? Professional wrestling at that point.
Mm-hmm. It is. You got to go. I don't regret going to Columbus. I don't ever want to return. But if we get to MLS Cup and it's in Columbus again, I guess there's probably a chance. You okay?
No, they said Brian just missed an open goal on watching it because it's on my TV. That was a little harder, but yeah, he probably should have finished that.
Is it 0-0 still?
It's still 0-0, but Colorado literally almost self-inflicted wound they gave the ball away and the guy crossed it and he had to hit it on the half volley. He just missed it. So,
oh man, the chat is taking a lot.
Did he miss again?
People are so happy that Brian Rodriguez is playing like Brian Rodriguez. I had a couple more notes, I think. Oh, I thought it was so funny there was no stoppage. I've never seen a game of soccer without at least 1 minute added.
Oh, they'll do that. So remember I know people don't want to remember this, but the 5-1 against Columbus and there were 7 minutes of stoppage. A lot of times when the game is out of reach, the referee will do everyone a favor and just go like, guys, let's just end it. There's no point in adding any time.
But usually it's like 1, right? They'll give them like 1 minute.
No, when it literally is this out of reach, they will just be like, no, we're just gonna, and that's kind of the smart thing to do. Because what extra time would you really need? And what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? Exactly what happened in that Columbus LAFC game. 2 guys got a red card for no reason. So it doesn't happen a lot. I mean, look, there's not a lot of games where it's just really out of reach, and also there was no legit. I think what it has to be, Travis, is like there's no really legit reasons to add a lot of it. Like if there's a long injury or whatever, then you can kind of say like, okay, look, put a minute on there, put 2 minutes. But that game was just flying by. There wasn't a ton of fouls, and he did the right thing by just saying like, let's just stop it. Let's just call it.
Nut says, today I learned Carl's Jr. sponsors Club America socks. That's cool. Do we have club sock sponsors?
No, I don't think that's. So MLS does stipulate where you can have sponsorships. And I remember it was a big deal when they were like, you can put them on your sleeve. Actually, they put them on. That was allowed coming out of the pandemic because they wanted teams to be able to recoup some of the money they lost. But I think also, if you remember from the MLS's back tournament, teams could have short sponsors, which LAFC was going to have one. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying who it was. And it was like all signed and pretty much done. And then they didn't like totally clear it. And then
was it FTX?
No, it was a liquor brand.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, don't get yourself in trouble.
It was a liquor brand.
That's cool.
Yeah, I gave you enough.
Jesse P says refs have discretion if the game's up 3+ goals at 90 minutes.
I don't think there's any specific, but I mean, I think when the 3 is a good number, we're like, come on, 2-0, a team could score a goal and make it,
and then immediately score again.
Yeah. But 3-0, it's like, okay, you're going to get one, and then nothing's going to happen here.
I do think a happy foot that we shouldn't overlook is that Olivier Giroud is going to play on turf and is happy to play on turf. Even in a game where we're up by 3, I'm sure they gave him a choice. And it seems like the choice was, I want to play as much as I can. He does seem to really want to score. He is getting obviously upset that he's not more involved in these games. I don't know if it's like upset or frustration or whatever, but I mean, I don't blame him.
There's just no real rhythm when he comes into the game. Because like I said, LAFC at that point, like if you can go forward, you go forward. And then you have guys like Bogusz that are like, well, we're already up 3-0. Why don't I get a goal if I can?
So sorry to interrupt, Vince. Adam Chazin gave us $1.99 and said, Vince, name names.
$1.99 for me to. I told you it was a liquor brand. A liquor brand that you.
Have we heard of it?
You've definitely heard of it, and not hard liquor. So not like a Captain Morgan.
So it's a beer or a wine.
No,
okay, no answer. No answers.
And it wasn't Heineken.
Okay, good. We got something out of you. We want Club America to have at least one Liga MX team in the semis. All eyes would be on that game.
Sure. Travis, you pointed that out. Like, I think Leagues Cup is better if Club America is in the semis.
Yeah, I think having those four teams, it's like that's a really ideal Final Four, because it's also interesting that one of those 4 teams will not get a Champions Cup berth, and it'll feel like real defeat. Like, I think for a lot of people, the Leagues Cup just feels like wasted time. But in those four, all four of those teams will want to win these last two games for sure. And all four of those teams, you could say going into the tournament, it makes sense they win Leagues Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, everyone is just guessing.
They're just guessing liquor brands, which is really fun. Actually, that's really fun.
There is a comment that I starred earlier, and now at 40 minutes in, I think it's important I bring it back up. Travis, I'm going to Copenhagen for an emergency family trip in 1 week, a walkable city. Any tips? Daniel, I have so many tips about Copenhagen. As someone who knows Europe very well, I could probably do this for most European cities, but don't ask me. Copenhagen.
What was your favorite like cafe in Copenhagen? Where was the place to go?
There was a cafe. I stayed at a hotel called Villa Copenhagen, which is in
what a name! What a name! Villa Copenhagen.
Villa Copenhagen, across from the main train station, right by Tivoli Gardens. And Tivoli Gardens is this huge amusement park in the middle of the city. It's like if there was an amusement park in Midtown Manhattan, like just a giant roller coasters, and it's like a fancy amusement park.
Big roller coasters.
Okay. Yeah, and it's fancy. Like it's clean. It doesn't cost a lot to get in, but it's like nice. Disney is based on it, and Willy Wonka's theme park is based on it. So go to Tivoli Gardens. But also there was a cafe in my hotel called Rug, which is a terrible name for a cafe, but great pastries and great coffee. And then ride your bike everywhere. I have more. Daniel, we'll talk offline. I have a bunch of recommendations.
Do they have is it bike rentals? You just pick up a bike, or do you walk out and just a local hands you one and says, "Here you go," and you just
genuinely
have at
it. There are so many. You can get a bike for free. People don't lock up their bikes because there's just bikes everywhere. So if you wanted to just take a local's bike, you could. But there's bike rentals that are just sitting on the sidewalk, and you could take it. It's great. Everyone bikes everywhere.
Oh, so they don't lock them because the anticipation is like you'll just use someone else's down. There'll always be one available to you.
I think the price of bikes, there's no reason anyone would steal a bike because everyone has them. Like it's like stealing a penny here. I'm sure they cost like nothing there because everybody has one. There's just not a resale market, I think. Urbanism Travel Pod. That's what we are.
I mean, we already are. We actually already are. Yeah, we 100%.
And yes, Daniel, please remember to take some good content like I gave everyone. Ruben Rios reminds us. Really good content from Copenhagen. Let's see, which liquor brand sponsored LAFC back then? Was it the shitty Coppola wine that they used to sell at the bank?
There is good Coppola wine, but not the one at the bank.
Is there good wine at the bank? Probably.
I actually love it. I love this. Is it basically a replica of Solvang?
Is Solvang Danish or is it Norwegian? I don't remember. It's Danish, right?
Danish, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Daniel, we'll talk offline. I got a bunch of recommendations. Thoughts on e-bikes? No, great question. Get an e-bike if you're going to get a bike. You go so fast you don't have to work at all. Highly recommend an e-bike. Vince, what are your thoughts on e-bike?
I have a bicycle. I actually went on a bike ride today, a nice one. The e-bikes they're getting a little much. They're big. They take up a lot of room.
Don't get the motorcycle ones. Get like a bike that if you pedal it, it goes fast.
Yeah. That's okay. But I'm just like, there's almost too many of them now, and I like to actually ride my bike for exercise, not just like hit the throttle and go around.
Yeah, but I go to the gym and just work on a pump. I don't care about health, so I would rather get the credit for riding my bike somewhere, but still use electricity. Use the coal fire pants. Words are hard sometimes, Vince. I drive a Moto Guzzi. I think I have a Moto too, my e-bike.
Moto Guzzi makes e-bikes too? Damn.
No, I don't know. I'll look up what e-bike I have.
E-bikes are cheating.
The wine is good at BMO.
I remember Max got one, Bredos, and he was so excited about it. He was like, man, I got my e-bike and it's great. I could just because he lives out in like South Bay where it's like really hilly. And I remember him going up to John Thornton and being like, you got to get one of these e-bikes, man. I could just hop on it, go anywhere. And John goes, what's the point of a bike? You don't have to do anything. And just walked away. It was one of the funniest things ever.
It's fun to ride a bike. We're going to have a bike ride we're not going to have a meetup. We're going to
let's do a rollout. Let's do it.
Any other happy feed or sad feed as we wrap up the evening? I got to pack. Do you still talk to Max, Vince, or are you guys rivals?
No. I talk to Max
He,
all the time. Max actually gave me tickets to see Krangbin at the Hollywood Bowl this past weekend, which was amazing of him.
oh,
Thank you,
fun.
Max Bredos. Yeah, it was so much fun, and it was the first time I'd been to the Hollywood Bowl as like an adult. I've definitely been there as a child with my family. It's weird. It's weird though. I gotta say I loved it. I loved the vibes and everything, but it is also weird to just sit there and like everyone's just eating and talking, and I'm like, what? So are we socializing or are we here for
It's
this?
picnic vibes.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine if you saw, I don't know, there's got to be like some like more rock oriented bands that play there. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine seeing that and have like maybe I just felt bad for the bands on stage because you're like, hey, we're happy to. Oh, you guys don't. Okay, enjoy your charcuterie.
It is funny to like. Last time I went to the bowl, you just bring like a picnic basket with food and wine, and you just sit there. And who did I see? Oh, the War on Drugs played there, I believe. That's who I
They're
saw.
gonna be there again. Literally, there was like the
Oh, that's
National and them
funny.
are gonna be there again. There was
Maybe it wasn't them then, because they wouldn't do that twice, 2 years in a row, right?
I don't
Maybe
know.
they would.
Maybe it's a pretty nice place to play. I will say that is pretty cool. Of all the places, like everywhere you go in LA, right? You have to have like clear bags. You can't bring anything in. And the bowl's like, no, bring your booze in. And I go to the guy. I
As
go, do you
many
need a look?
glass bottles as you want, you can
Yeah.
bring in.
I walk into the guy. I go, do you need to look through it? And the guy goes, you're good. Like they don't care. It's awesome. I will say that is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And especially like I remember at the Greek, I like hid wine in like a bladder in like a bag, and they make a
Because you're
big
very
show.
European. You got that from Spain, right? It was actually made from a bull's bladder.
Yeah, I eat the whole animal.
Yeah.
I don't leave
and
any.
You do where you like shoot it from really far, right?
Mhm.
Of course
Yeah,
you do.
you know me. I'm European.
I do.
America and Colorado scoreless through 40. I mean, I think we should end this so we could all go watch Colorado beat Brian Rodriguez. Everyone talking about B-Rod missing and enjoying it is a fun vibe. Sad for the BMO security sucks this year. What does that mean? What are they like stopping you from bringing stuff in? Is it more rigid than it used to?
Just walk it. Here's my tip to you. Just walk with a purpose, and you can do a lot of things. That's all I'm gonna say.
I did get in to Leagues Cup with a credential from another game at the last game that I went to.
Yeah. You're like lanyard, something that remotely looks like he's in. Go for it.
Yeah. BMO security is harsh. I mean, I wonder if it's because of smoke flare stuff that they've been more rigid.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, once you're inside and in your seats, yeah, they can be a little. I'm just saying, in and around the grounds, like in the general perimeter, as me and Travis say, like they're pretty hands off.
I would say the best part about having a credential when we do the post-game show is that there's bottles of water upstairs and they don't have to pour it into a cup. And so I get to get a bottle of water from the press box. And am I going to lose my credentials for talking about that?
No, because I don't think there's not going to be a stream of people going up there to get those bottles of water. Obviously.
I also like haven't thrown the bottle on the field. I've been responsible about
not yet.
It.
Not yet. You haven't.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Somebody gets you mad enough.
All right, guys, this has been fun. Like we said,
did come close.
Darren and I are in Chicago this week. I don't know what it's going to look like. Podwise, we have to figure it out. I doubt we'll be able to have a post game unless Vince wants to do it just alone, but we'll figure it out. And then we will be able to do it if we make it to the finals, because the finals on Sunday. Is that correct?
Yeah, 25th.
But yeah, we're working nights this week, so it's going to be more difficult for us to do this. So sorry about that. And thank you again, everyone who super chatted and hung out with us this evening. Mikey, sorry for yelling at you, but don't tip drunk anymore. We love you. And walk in with a blind guy and they see Darren's cane and they're softer on us. Kimberly, are you telling us to stolen valor having a blind husband? Are you telling us to pretend we're with blind people? Darren is still out there murdering his kid.
I told you, it's just for a night. It's just for a night. They'll wake up.
Be back.
Yeah.
I am going to enjoy a big beef sandwich out in Chicago.
You should.
I don't know enough about Chicago food. If you have Chicago food recommendations, and I've only ever been in the winter, so I'm excited to be in Chicago.
Great steakhouses. And then you're from the East Coast and then from Connecticut. So I doubt that you're a Chicago pizza guy, as I'm not as well. Yeah, not really a fan of that. So
they aren't even Chicago pizza people.
Yeah, find a steakhouse.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Detroit pizza in Chicago, I've heard. But the deep dish pizza, it makes you feel like fucking dog shit for a week.
Yeah, Detroit and like Grandma Squares. That's as thick as my pizza can go. After that,
Yeah.
it's just soup.
No, Detroit is great. I fuck with Detroit. Also, we almost got them to sponsor the podcast, but Ozzy's a Pizza in Glendale. They said they would sponsor the podcast, and then I didn't follow up. This is completely on me.
What? Whoa.
But they do great Connecticut style pizza, New Haven style pizza, which is really good.
Let's do a
Thin
get together
crust,
there. Let's
burnt.
do a live from there.
Honestly, they could I think they have an indoor venue actually.
Me stuffing my face with pizza. I'm in.
That's not a bad idea. Would people go to Glendale for a live show?
I mean,
It's
they're
right
gonna have
by
to
the
go.
Americana.
Look at some point, they're gonna have to go somewhere. So
yeah, my thought is somewhere not too far from downtown because people travel to downtown. So you have to imagine people who are fans of the show.
Yeah.
Well, so like somewhere like Echo Park, Silver Lake, around there feels close enough to downtown. Somewhere like I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. Live from Ozzy's Beats. People are just giving me Polish food.
I like want that on a shirt.
Live from Ozzy's Beats.
Yeah.
Hafozavo Pizza Party Live is a fun.
Yeah.
I can get you an Ozzy's Beats shirt if you want.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even care if people show up. Let's just go.
Guys, we're just gonna get pizza one night. If you guys want to come eat pizza,
you guys want to meet up and get some pizza.
All right, this is so fun. Please remember to subscribe, thumbs up below. We'll let you know what we're doing with this week, but at least Darren and I are gonna have a rough work week, but we'll be back next weekend. And then subscribe, follow. We'll see you at Snapdragon, baby. I love you. Bye. Vince.
Let's do this, Brian Rodriguez. No,
be the LAFC Brian Rodriguez.
Yeah, technically me telling him like to be himself should be enough.
Yeah, Brian Rodriguez, please keep skying it. We love you, B-Rod. Bye.